Hey, what's up guys? This is going to be our first tutorial in Photoshop, and we're going to be exploring how to scale, rotate, and transform an image that we already have. Now, I do apologize for the sound quality. I'm kind of recording on my tablet, and it's not really my full-fledged studio at home, so just bear with me, and I do apologize in advance. But let's go ahead and just open up Photoshop, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, Photoshop is obviously a very powerful tool, and I'm quite sure you've probably heard of it. And you can use this in tandem with Blender, Blend, and of course Visual Studio and your other projects as well. And I certainly use it all the time, and I really do mean all the time. There's always something in an image that I need to blur out or maybe make transparent or something, and Photoshop does everything. Another thing I'd like to add is that I'm using CS4, not really using any of the newer versions. So for the sake of this tutorial, if you can get a copy of my version, it would be great. Of course, if you can't, the newest should suffice as well, but some of the things might be a little different. So again, in this video, we're going to be exploring free transforming, scaling, and rotating. So let's find an image that we want to rotate. Go ahead and go to File, go to Open, and then find our image. And there you go. And from here, you should already notice that the sword is diagonal. It's really a combination of both the X and Y axis, and kind of like a straight slope. And in Blender, that might not be an ideal position for you to mesh that object onto the object, I guess. Or it's a bad texture, basically. And it'd be a lot easier if it was more vertical than anything else. So the easiest thing to do is just make sure your box select tool is selected. I believe it's called the rectangular mark tool on the left side, and then highlight your entire picture. Now from here, you could then right click on the image and then click free transform. And what this will allow you to do is do everything that we were trying to do, so stretch, shrink, rotate, and so forth. We could even flip. So because we have to rotate the image, it's probably not going to fit in the current image. So let's go ahead and first scale this down. So select the upper leftmost guideline, and then go ahead and scale this down to a good size. And then let's go ahead and drag our image to the middle. And then if you hover your mouse just a little bit above the any of the corners, you'll be able to rotate it after your cursor changes. And there you go. And so, because this is oriented in such a way, Photoshop, if you save it after this part, you'll basically get this image. It really only saves the visible layers, so if you have anything hidden, it's not going to actually show it to you. But I also wanted to add a few other things before I actually stop this video. How I said we could flip and scale and so forth, you could essentially play with these guidelines in order to either, again, flip the image, to either stretch the image, or even just rotate the image. Or, let's not rotate. Rotate. There you go. And you can really get it into any position that you really wanted. But for now, let's get it back to let's go back to our history. Hold on. Okay, never mind. Let's get it back to the position that we wanted. I know it looks a little stretched, but you're going to have to deal with it. Now, your free transform doesn't apply until you actually apply it. And what I mean by this is if you click the rectangular tool once again, it'll ask you if you want to apply the transformation. Definitely click Apply, File, Save As, and then you want to save it as a PNG just for the sake of being able to import it into Blender, and obviously choose a good name and click Save. And then it'll ask you to, well, just click OK. Well, it won't really ask you, just do it. And then your image should save. Now, I've already done this beforehand, so let's go ahead and preview that really quick. And then there you go. So that's the before image, or that's actually the after image. This is the before. and you can see that I've successfully rotated that image and of course scaled it down a bit. So hopefully you're able to pull something from this video. I'll have some more up and running maybe later this week. Stay tuned.